Hello, it has been some time since I uploaded the last video. I am alive and well. My apologies for the wait. As usual, I have been busy, and I needed a break from the internet, for good reason of course. This video in particular will be the usual Showdown Live, mixed in with a discussion, because for those that aren't aware, there was a lot of uncertainty going around the internet about me, and I want to make things clear for you all, because it can be very easy to get a bad impression of me, or anyone for that matter, without correct information. Shout out to everyone that has reached out so far, and also those that have checked up on me or left supportive comments in general. I appreciate it. I'll get into the discussion after I talk about the team that I have for today, so I can play and talk at the same time. Haven't touched Pokemon in many weeks, so I'm not too aware on what all has changed. I haven't been watching any Pokemon content either during my time away, so probably out of practice, but I asked my Discord what I should build around, and I was given a few suggestions that I also added to the team, but I wanted to build around Clawitzer, and I'll tell you later in the video the real reason I built around Clawitzer, so stay tuned for that. So as you can see here, I have the Choice Specs Clawitzer with Mega Launcher. Very powerful Pokemon, especially with Tera, which can change its typing to be resistant to weaknesses of Electric and Grass, which this Pokemon is weak to, and powering up Dragon Pulse in the process. We're running all moves that can be boosted by Mega Launcher. I believe all of them can be boosted, if I'm not mistaken. Pulse moves, Aura Sphere, I forgot if it can or not, but I'm pretty sure it's very strong. So yeah, I like this Pokemon because it's just a really powerful wall breaker on the special side. And yeah, then I have Tinkaton for Stealth Rocks. It's 2 attacks Encore. I was running Knockoff before, but Encore has been pretty useful. Good utility mon with Rocky Helmet as well for the team. We have Galarian Zapdos. I liked running this Pokemon in OU before, but UU I feel like it'll be pretty strong as well with its moves and what it can do. We have Donphan for Rapid Spin, very sturdy Pokemon, nice little Chinese EV spread as well. Then we have Hydrapple, which was a suggestion. I think actually Tinkaton and Hydrapple were suggested on my Discord for me to run, and I decided to pair it on the team together. Hydrapple is just a good Regenerator pivot with AV, very bulky, and can fire off some pretty strong attacks. And finally Raikou, which is actually a huge win condition for the team. Late game, this Pokemon is very good. And yeah, combine 3 attacks with Tera Fairy is a really solid sweeper for the mid to late game, or even early game if you can get it going. It's pretty strong. And yeah, like this team pretty much, I found that every single Pokemon can be run in UU and below. So I'm using that in this tier just to have some fun. So I'll make my discussions flow a lot easier without having to really focus or concentrate too much. So while I go ahead and find a battle, now let's begin the discussion with a short recap where we left off since last time. If you remember my last video, I was very stressed when I was explaining my situation. It'll be much easier to explain things now in more detail since I'm not so stressed anymore. Anyways, let's begin the first discussion. Ex-girlfriend from about 9 years ago, who I dated online for 6 years, came back 3 years after we broke up and tried to ruin my online reputation with an out-of-context narrative. All the information was taken to my attorney, and everything in its entirety confirmed I had done nothing wrong. After that, I made my last video very briefly explaining the situation, where I publicly stated that I've done nothing wrong, but some people didn't really seem to fancy that statement because clearly the court of public online opinion has become far harsher compared to a decade ago, and people on the internet have become very opinionated on certain topics and like to assume things they have no real information about. So then these people on the internet grouped together and left very disrespectful comments on my channel, so I ended up disabling comments on my last video and locking my Twitter until things died down and the smoke cleared. And I did see the humor in some comments, like for example, how Little Cup must be my favorite tier and that this is the real evil Emvee, very creative of course, until people bandwagoned on that too and started repeating the same jokes over and over again, copying everybody else. So I decided to take a break from the internet. Who wouldn't? The whole thing affected me emotionally. I was very stressed and also very sad. I couldn't sleep for a while either. I'm doing much better now, of course, but imagine digging a decade into someone's past, especially when it's coming from someone you valued and trusted, all because they want to hurt you. It's no joke, especially when you take into account that people on the internet today have a tendency to blow things out of proportion, to put it bluntly. I got some very foul comments. Not gonna say what those comments are out loud on my channel. Some people know what they are. They are hurtful and are used out of context. I understand people online have their own opinions on dating age differences, but it would be nice if people on the internet understood what some of these words actually meant before using them to insult someone or just say nothing at all. I'm not some cartoon character, I'm a real person. I was nearly a decade younger than I am now, My ex's age was within acceptable bounds right from the start, began as a friendship and progressed as any dating would, and we still have never actually met in person to this day. Something else you don't know, since I tend to keep my personal life personal, but the last person I dated after that was in fact a year older than me. And it was locally, not long distance online like this whole thing was. Obviously my dating life has changed as I grew older. Not sure why I have to explain this to you all, but here we are. And I've never done anything malicious. Remember, we were together for 6 years after the start. That's a long time for her to willingly choose to date someone online, and then to drop this 3 years later when it doesn't work out. You can't argue things like, oh well, I guess it may be alright, but the power dynamic, you had influence over her, she had no choice, blah blah blah, when she was with me for 6 years the whole time, and it was all long distance online. How do you think I could force something like that? He must have tricked her with dark Chinese magic. Nah, I barely had any subscribers a decade ago. I didn't even have dark Chinese magic, I was a novice. By the time we stopped dating, she was the same age, if not older than I was, and we remained friends for a little bit after that. So let's be smart here, okay? Let's be professional. I'm not any of the mean things people are calling me on the internet. So, assuming we are on the same page, and you are following along, allow me to enlighten you. This whole thing was an orchestrated, calculated character assassination done out of spite, with malicious intent, using a false, out-of-context narrative to destroy my online reputation and embarrass me in the process. You don't think it's suspicious for her to wait this long, then all of a sudden start posting daily uploads on YouTube for a month, then without any hint or any warning, file a complaint on a biased forum that I barely even use, getting me banned from there, and then coincidentally setting off a chain reaction of also getting my accounts locked on Pokemon Showdown, the main game I play on this channel. And for it all to spread like wildfire amongst my peers and viewers, distancing me from people I thought were my friends and from some viewers that enjoyed my content. Do you understand? Orchestrated, calculated character assassination, OCCA, Akaberry, needed for the fire. She's not looking for an apology. What she really wanted was to hurt me by damaging something that I cared about. Despite everything though, I have respected her privacy, even though my privacy has been disrespected in return. I certainly don't want her to get into trouble or for anything bad to happen to her. The whole thing is just very unfortunate. Some people are demanding that I take accountability, and I want to make something very clear. Accountability goes both ways here. I, for one, always take full self-accountability for every single decision and every single action that I've ever taken in every point in time in my life, and it has led me to where I am today. Of course, if I could go back to my young 20s with the knowledge and wisdom I have as a guy in his 30s, I most certainly would have done things differently to avoid a situation like this. Clearly, the younger Emvee followed his heart, and now the older Emvee is being forced to pay the online price. But let me tell you something. People on the internet are neither my judge nor my jury. It is foolish for anyone to try to cancel me for something from a decade ago with a story they don't even know. There's a quote by the famous author Mark Twain where he says, "Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. Show some respect. Have some class." Okay? My time away from the internet has allowed me to see things more clearly, and that concludes my discussion on this matter. The bullet has been fired. I'm still standing, and people still seem to support me. I hope other people on the internet are able to move on, because it's disappointing to see things get blown out of proportion in the way they do. Before I move on to my next topic of discussion, people were asking me about Joey, and initially I wasn't going to say anything specifically about him, so I'm only going to touch on this very briefly as a segue into my next topic. I didn't want to name any specific names throughout all of this, but this really helps with providing more context, so apologies in advance. I noticed he put out a statement on Twitter saying he can't work with me in a professional setting. To make things perfectly clear for you all, Joey's main job is YouTube, and he has a family to take care of, so he's dependent on the Pokemon community to fund his life. If he continued to work with me and people turned on him like they turned on me, he'd be impacted. I, on the other hand, do not depend on YouTube to survive. YouTube for me has always been a hobby. It is something that I enjoyed doing because it made me happy, bringing you all fun, fire content. I understand why he had to make that decision. I guess then in order for us to work together again in a professional setting, it's really up to the people to say if we can or not. Which feels weird to say, but that's the internet for you, not my decision. I very much miss doing videos with him. I haven't been on the internet much at all lately, but can someone let me know when he goes bald for his subathon goal? I can't wait to watch it with my full head of hair intact. But anyways, now leads me to my next topic of discussion. Fake friends. A significant number of people that I thought were my friends, who aren't really in Joey's position where they have to make a difficult decision for the sake of their livelihood, simply cut ties with me without hesitation. Some of them even making their own dumb statements without getting my side of the story first. People that clearly cannot think for themselves. And to them I say, shame on you. I'm not gonna name anyone, you know who you are, it's an embarrassment. However, there's always a silver lining. I'm glad it happened. It put a huge spotlight on who my real friends are, the ones that took the time to listen to my side of the story and chose to have my back till the very end. Even a good number of people whom I've never regularly spoken to messaged me and were like, hold on just a second, something doesn't seem quite right here, and sympathized with my situation. So to the intelligent and more compassionate individuals who didn't just mindlessly hop on the bandwagon just because other people on the internet were, thank you. A lesson to everyone regarding friendships: quality over quantity. You don't need hundreds of friends if you have a good group of close friends. Even if it's just a few, that's fine. That's all you need. There are so many superficial people out there that only are around you either because you have a name or because you provide them some form of benefit. When shit hits the fans, you'll see exactly who the real ones are and who the fake ones are. Next topic of discussion: what exactly have I been up to? Aside from dealing with all these issues behind the scenes, moving on to a bit of a lighter topic since I've been away for quite a while. I realized that I devoted a good portion of my time to YouTube, and when I needed a break from the internet, I paused what I was doing. That's when it really hit me. In that process, I found myself with an abundance of free time on my hands, much more than I expected. Funnily enough, one of the greater challenges while being away from the internet was finding things to keep me occupied and not getting bored. Obviously, I didn't just sit around and be sad all day because I needed to get things done. You know, if you're someone in my shoes, you don't got time to mope around, you gotta take control of your life. I started martial arts, Taekwondo specifically. It's something I always wanted to do, but never really had the time before to do it, just because I've been so busy. And I've been doing intense training. I have long legs, so it's perfect, you know, turning myself into a weapon. Also, I paired it with yoga classes. I think yoga is perfect to pair with Taekwondo because I'll gain more flexibility over time through stretching. And seeing everyone in Taekwondo warming up with splits, I was like, damn, I need to level up. There are some beasts in that class. And yeah, yoga also strengthens the mind and brings peace and balance to life. Both of these activities definitely help out a lot after, you know, everything that went down. And once I get settled into this routine, I'm thinking of adding on either boxing or cooking classes. I think these are all real world skills that I feel will be extremely beneficial. And yeah, y'all should spend less time on the internet. There's so much out there. I'm discovering things. It's pretty fun. Actually, a quick funny story for you all. So I spent some time trying to figure out which martial art I wanted to do before I decided I wanted to do Taekwondo. And one of the ones I tried was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. First time doing it, right? So I go in there, I meet the head coach who reminds me of someone out of Cobra Kai, like a hardcore tough guy. So he puts me onto the mat and pairs me with a 65-year-old dude. And I don't even get instructed on any basic moves. First he's like, do this, this, and that, like a full combo move or something. So I'm trying to do this move on this old guy, and the old guy's like, no, you're doing it wrong. Here, let me show you. Next thing you know, I'm on the floor. My arms and legs are getting pulled in directions I didn't think they could be pulled in. This dude's ass is in my face. He's pulling my leg and spinning around like he's breakdancing. My glasses are about to snap. So I quickly take them out, right? Reach my hand out with them as the coach takes my glasses from me. And now the elderly guy's doing the same thing all over again, but this time I can't even see what's going on anymore. Yeah, it's way too close contact for me, but the thing is that I learned how to do that one move where you kind of like move around and your leg is around their throat and you pull their arm, whatever that move is called. Not the biggest fan of rolling around with someone else. I like Taekwondo way more since it's better suited for my style, but yeah, respect anyone that does that. It's definitely a more hands-on approach to fighting. And other than that, I'm planning some trips for the near future. Going to be doing a bit of traveling, try to see more of the world, experience some different cultures, meet some new people. It's going to be a fun time. I got some stuff lined up, but feel free to suggest any countries I should visit. I'll add those to my list. Ooh, maybe I do some travel vlogs. That could be cool, right? Somewhere down the line, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, that's all I wanted to discuss for now. And actually, would you like to know why I built around Clawitzer? That's because I'm a little disappointed that this Pokemon could have been my Tera captain for the draft league I was a part of. Clawitzer was on my draft in the P4G. It was one of my Tera captains for that lower tier league. I was in it before, but unfortunately I'm no longer in that league since I was forcefully removed due to all this stuff. My draft that I picked up had so many cool members like Raikou, Feraligatr, Donphan, Meloetta, Tinkaton, Virizion, Miss Mag, Tera Altaria, and Tera Clawitzer would have been so cool. I had Emvee on the team as well. I feel like I'm missing one, but maybe that's all of them. I forgot. Not sure who that team was taken over by, as I've not been watching at all, or any Pokemon content for that matter, but yeah, I really feel it wasn't fair given the circumstances, but I understand the nature of the internet and people trying to save their own skin and all that. Plus, it allowed me to take a break, which is very much what I needed for myself, though it would have made for some really fire content. I should mention that YouTube is not really a priority for me at the moment because I'm doing other stuff in life right now, and it's been such a breath of fresh air to change the direction of my focus, and it feels great to be, be physically and socially active at the same time in a variety of ways. And I'm more than happy to continue the uploads as and when I can, because I know there's still a good number of you all that, really want to see the Heat content continue, and I'm more than happy to do that. And I mentioned the Draft League also because if you want to see more Draft League content, I am open and free to join a Draft League at some point. We'll see though. But yeah, I'm still the me of today. At the end of the day, all the jumping to conclusions and blowing things out of proportion is something the internet needs to work on. But yeah, now I can focus on the battles. I've kind of been playing on autopilot while I talk. Kind of doing pretty well too with this team. So let's continue on. I tried so hard not to interrupt my train of thought, especially during that Floatzel turn with the clutch survival of Hydrapple. I was really focused in the zone with what I was saying though, so I didn't sidetrack to be like, oh shoot, that was a crazy survival. But the games have been really good so far. Okay, now to focus on an actual game, and I guess I kind of have been multitasking. That's why my mind is clear. I feel pretty solid. So they go Goodra. Nice to see 90% accurate moves are the same, as always. But I could probably go Zapdos and try to destroy this thing with a close combat. Should be the move. I don't really see a lot of great switch-ins other than Mana Buzz. Nice. Big damage with the close combat. They go into Mana Buzz here. Maybe U-turn or something, I don't know. Defog, which is actually crazy to go for on Galarian Zapdos. It's actually a pretty crazy play to go for. Imagine I stayed in and just keep on clicking close combat. Would have been crazy. But yeah, rocks look pretty good here. It always forces the switch out, so we can get some chip. Cool, so we got up rocks. Thinking about going Donphan here just because it's the safest option as the rapid spin now. Tempted to knock on the Mana Buzz, but I'm feeling Earthquake. I'm really feeling Earthquake here. As they stay in, they get a crit, unfortunately, but it's all good. We get some pretty good damage there. Tempted to go Tinkaton for Rocky Helmet, but I might just Giga Drain. Yeah, nice. No flinch. Always good. Yeah, we have a lot of pieces right now that we can work with. Should be good. Definitely, I don't know if I can get a Clawitzer knockout for this one, but we'll see. Como-O is kind of a threat. The fact that they brought it in means what? That they're just gonna attack or something? Terra Steel, ooh. Okay, so yeah, we sack Donphan here. I think we go Zapdos, I believe, which should be faster because this Como-O is only +1 speed, so fire off a good old close combat for some good damage here. Mana Buzz is in. Every single time we just go back into Tinkaton like I've been doing, just set up rocks. Greninja comes in now. I probably can play rough here. Hydro Miss is fine. I probably live that too because I'm Spadef. Yeah, exactly. So we got some damage here and they forfeit. Beautiful. Beautiful game once again. Yeah, I literally just made this team and I haven't really, of course, obviously, with my busy schedule, I have not been testing at all or, this is actually the first time in a long time that I've been on Showdown. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's been so long. Wow. But I still got it. Still got it as always. So this is an interesting matchup. They got a lot of threats like Breloom, Pecharunt is interesting. Hisui and Arcanine, tough to switch into. Leading Clawitzer is an option. I could also lead with Hydrapple, Raikou. Maybe Tinkaton. Let's lead Tinkaton. Cause you gotta think a ton. But it's gonna be the Donphan lead. Let's go ahead and rapid spin here. Should be a play. I could also knock. Which is not a bad play either. I'm not sure if they go into Pecharunt though. Could be an option for them. They go Azu. Nice. Wonderful. So this Mon, I feel like we could just chip it away with Rocky Helmet. The Liquidate, that does a ton of damage. Stealth Rocks are kind of nice, but weakening this mon is pretty cool too. And so now they're kind of forced to Rapid Spin, right? What if I simply Gigaton Hammer once, right? They Rapid Spin, Encore them into it. I don't know if they're faster actually. After a Rapid Spin, I don't know if they're faster. We'll find out. They're not. Cool, perfect. This is perfect. Now they should be faster, I think. So I can set up rocks here. And then we can go into probably could stay in. This one's fast, right? Oh no, I'm faster. So they parting shot. Slow parting shot. I didn't know if they were faster or not, if they were gonna nasty plot or something, so that's why I did that play. And then here what I can do is just, how much did Gigaton do before? It did like 33 and they're at 28. So if I actually get a little chip, I might force them. Yeah, I don't think they can Rapid Spin now. Cool, so then we could just go here into, I think Zapdos U-turn. So rocks are there to stay, which means if they take chip on Arcanine, that's gonna be wonderful for everything. They go Pecharunt here, that's fine. Let's go into, oh, actually, because Tinkaton, oh, maybe, is Clawitzer faster? I don't know. I don't know. I want a Dark Pulse and see what happens. They could be slow parting shot, right? Min speed maybe? I don't know. Let's see how much damage we can do here with a Dark Pulse. I do see an end game for Raikou because, yeah, Tera Fairy looks solid. We have Scald as well. They haven't Tera though, so I mean, if they Tera, then with anything, it's gonna be good for us. So let's see what they decide to do. I might make this a shorter one because I have Taekwondo coming up. So I gotta go for that. So they go T-Tar. We get to go Donphan, maybe is a play I could make. Think it's a fine play because that allows us to get off an Earthquake. Try to do some damage here on something. They go Breloom. Does a good clean 39. Hydrapple I think is a play that we can make here because we're very defensive. As you saw, we sponged the rain boosted Wave Crash from Floatzel. So this mon can do it. So now I can just go right for the Fickle Beam. I don't think they'd go Azumarill here. They go Pecharunt, cool. We get a big hit off on this thing. Wonderful. I'm just gonna go, I definitely need to save you because you're kind of nice. You are kind of nice. Let's go Donphan here as they Toxic, okay. Fair enough, let me knock off an item. So they did take the pointed stones, which means, yeah, they're leftovers, right? Leftovers. Knocking that off will be great. I don't know if they have Recover or not. If it's Parting Shot Toxic, probably, right? Unless they are 2 attacks. Arcanine's in. Ooh, they're on an air balloon. Oh, I hurt myself in confusion. Ah, okay. I didn't pop the balloon, unfortunately, but that is okay. I'm allowed to just let this thing go down and hurt myself in confusion twice in a row. I forgot this game has hacks. This game is a little unfortunate sometimes. So then here what I could do is I could go into Clawitzer and just fire off a big hit. I think Water Pulse seems reasonable. I was just switching it on rocks and then probably Pulse is a 2-hit KO depending on the set. I'm not sure if this is, I think this is banded. But they go T-Tar, so T-Tar should die here, I think. Not quite, but it will in the next turn. This thing is really bulky, so I'm sure we're faster. But they switch out now. Oh, so now they're gonna take this plus Sand Chip, which might put it in range, right? Yeah, easily. So that's even better for us. Okay. That is pretty cool. And them giving us Chip on T-Tar makes it a lot easier for Raikou, because we know that this thing was extremely bulky on the special defensive side from the Sandstorm boost and whatnot, and probably the EVs. So T-Tar's back. Oh, they're just sacking everything now. I will take that. I will gladly take that. So we have a bunch of weakened Pokemon here. Our Hydrapple's pretty healthy. Raikou's at full. Zapdos is at full. Yeah, this is pretty nice. I don't know if Head Smash from Arcanine takes us out. They go Breloom though, so versus Breloom we can just go into Hydrapple once again. Let's go into that. They decide to Mach Punch. Does a lot of damage. This is Banded Breloom, it probably is. So here I'm going to Giga Drain. Ooh. Okay, that works. So now I survive. I guess Sandstorm wears off anyways, right? So, yep. Cool. Now they go Arcanine. Do I need to save Hydrapple anymore? No, I don't think I do. So I'm going to just Fickle Beam. Let him Flare Blitz here. We get to go into Raikou here now. Scald once. I don't know if they're gonna Tera or not. No, they've already Tera, right? So cool, we're good. They've already Terra'd with their Breloom. We get Scald here. And I think we win the game now. Azu comes in, we just Thunderbolt here. And then Pecharon comes in, takes Rocks, and Thunderbolt to knock it out. Oh, this Pokemon would have been so much fun to use in Draft League. Unfortunate I can't use it, but it is what it is. Let's get one more for this one before I end it off. And bid thee all farewell for now. But the next one should be relatively soon. I won't take too long for the next upload. Hopefully. I don't think I will though. Tinkaton. I feel like this guy's name looks familiar. Did I face him? Probably not. Maybe testing. I don't even remember at this point. I'm gonna lead with Clawitzer or Tinkaton. Let's lead Clawitzer here, as they lead Arcanine. So if this Head Smash comes off, it might hurt. If they're banded, definitely want to save this mon because it's good at punishing things. Not gonna stay in immediately. We go hard Donphan. We just knock off immediately, I think, is the play. Hawlucha is a threat for sure. Yeah, they hit Smash immediately. This is probably Choice Banded. Let's knock off here. No, it's Focus Sash. Ah. Okay. Good to know. And they get up Rocks. So it's a Focus Sash Arcanine. Cool. So I guess so they go Hawlucha here. We're just going to I think getting off damage on this mon is the play. They just Sky Attack immediately. That's cool. So now they're fast. What do? We just go for... Oh, maybe we just go Tinkaton and Encore it just to kind of force it out. Because if we force it out, we'll be faster than it with our Zapdos, so it's pretty good. Yeah, they do that. Cool, cool, cool. If that works, let me... I think I can go Zapdos here and Brave Bird. I think is the better play. Unless they're like Tera something, right? Or I could play her off twice. You know, it's always an option. They switch out, so this works just as fine. Now the question is, do I need to keep Tinkaton around? I feel like maybe, but then again, this is Specs. Probably is tough, right? That is a lot. That is Specs. That is Specs. Have no switch into that mon. So that mon being gone is wonderful. Scissor's in now. Let's throw up some Rocks. Right? Ooh. Not bad. So they're gonna Bullet Punch here then? They do. And then my play would be to... Okay, so what's the end game for me? End game sequence. Raikou looking good. Kind of. I think it's pretty nice. Zapdos is good. Hydrapple is decent into some of these mons, but I think I go Clawitzer here and just Water Pulse. They are leftovers, so... Ooh, Clawitzer. Clawitzer, so strong, so strong. Oh, imagine this is my Tera Captain. It would have been so good. Would have been so good. Anyways, Lottie is in, so... Yeah, I think I would just... Did I save you, maybe? Let me go Hydrapple. They Calm Mind, which is fine because I have my Zapdos intact. I don't have to Tera anything just yet. Tera Electric. Ooh. So close combat's actually gonna be pretty strong. So the Dragon Pulse here, cool. Let's go Zapdos. Let's click close combat, I think is the play. Goodbye. So yeah, they are gonna bring in Sinistra, right? So now the question is, how slow is this mon, or how fast is this mon? Because I feel like Clawitzer is pretty good, but then I need to save Raikou. I don't know. They Calm Mind up though, so let's see how much Dark Pulse does, if we are faster or not. We are faster. Ooh, Clawitzer once again. And the forfeit. Beautiful, beautiful game right there. You love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. And that's gonna be it from me for this video. Thank you everybody for watching and listening to my discussion. Hope you all enjoyed. It has not been easy, but I do feel like I've handled it better than a lot of people could in my shoes. I'm still thriving in life, enjoying myself, and hopefully I can win some of you back that initially decided to leave. If not, then no worries. Feel free to move on respectfully. Not sure when my next upload will be, but I'll try not to keep y'all waiting for too long, like I said. Regardless, we move forward. So yeah, thank you all once again, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.